Good morning. I'm Greg Watson, and this is Rec to Rental. It's a series where I will take you through the minutia of the steps required to turn a wreck into a positive cash flow rental property. But first, like we always do, we thank God for the privilege of waking today, for the breath in our lungs, the beat of our heart, and also I say heavenly hello, my beautiful wife. Te amo, mommy. Second, let's go take a walk through, and I'll show you why things on the inside and things on the outside made this a perfect candidate house to do this type of project. Follow along. We're gonna have a great time. This home was built in 1908, 1,785 square feet. It's a good amount of space. One bathroom for 4 bedrooms. Can you imagine 2 parents, 3 or 4 kids, potentially the grandparents, all sharing the same bathroom? Not possible in this day and age, so things will be upgraded. As far as this kitchen, there's a lot of space, but very basic, probably remodeled sometime in the 1950s or 60s. We have our stove, which is on an interior wall. That's not that much of a problem, but this particular one, its venting system just blows it right back in your face. That's never any fun when you're trying to cook. So whether we leave it there and vent to the outside, or we'll move it to maybe an island and then put a center vent, just depends upon the final design. But it's a large space and has great potential. Also, tall ceilings, so that's always a plus. Homes from this era and for many decades to come were compartmentalized. The kitchen was pretty much walled off from the dining room, which was then given a separation wall to the living room. In our modern living, we like things open, we like things airy, we like things feeling as we can communicate with what's going on in other rooms. Parents can watch over kids, adults can have better communication. It's all about being together. And so that's one of the things that we will be doing with this home, is bringing it to the modern standards of open and airiness. When looking for a potential purchase of a home for remodeling and for future value, older homes are great because we have tall ceilings, which again gives you that feeling of openness, airiness, and space, even if sometimes the rooms are smaller. And as a bonus, most older homes have railwood floors. Many of them have been worn and damaged, but I'd say 90% of them can always be brought back to their original luster. And that is a true plus. Coming from the living room, we have this square of a space, which is a waste. We have the kitchen this way, the living room that way. We have a big hallway door, which leads into a closet, which is attached to the bedroom. The bedroom will, of course, one day become the master bedroom. Over here, you have the stairs going upstairs. You have the second downstairs bedroom, which would probably be for a children's room, or it could be an office. But again, it's wasted space. We'll move a few walls, give a new bathroom down here for guests, so they wouldn't have to go into what's going to be the master bedroom bathroom. So a different perspective of the same wasted space square is the door going into the master bedroom, the door going into the only bathroom, and the other downstairs bedroom. Again, with a little creativity, the space can be rearranged, and it's a better utilization for all of the inhabitants, and of course, for the guests who need to use the facilities. This room, again, will become the master bedroom. Not really large, but it's very open with the windows, tall ceilings, very creative decorations. This closet, which will part of it become the guest bathroom on the other side, is large enough for the lady of the house to have all of her shoes and her dresses and everything. And of course, the man will get a little space for his work boots, his dress boots, 2 pair of jeans, and a t-shirt. That's the way it is. It's all for the ladies. As mentioned, this is the only bathroom. I love the decor. Everybody's creative in their own way. But can you imagine 4 bedrooms, which potentially would be 6 people, and 1 single vanity? Not up to our standards. But a little find is a true clawfoot tub. Solid waste of time. It could be repurposed, reused here, because every home requires a tub of some type for resale purposes. Most likely, though, this will be gone, and we'll put in a nice sized shower for the adults in that house. So this wall will be the new door. The door that we came in from, that'll be gone, because we want privacy for the adults, and we don't want a guest accidentally walking in and going, whoa, what's going on here? Another thing that captured my heart when I did my first walkthrough was the stairs. It's all wood, can be cleaned up. Sometimes it'll be painted, sometimes it'll be left natural with a good clear coat. Either way, it'll be beautiful. But the real plus is its width and its depth of the treads. Most homes of this era have little tiny treads for the old folks, meaning decades and decades ago, who had little tiny feet. That's difficult in our modern area with men with giant feet, and especially when you're carrying things up and down the stairs, it's not good. Notice, no handrails. That'll have to change because you never want to fall down the stairs, and as we get older, it's nice to hold on to something so we don't accidentally fall. And of course, it's required by code. I love the sound of old homes. Creaky floors, but safety-wise, nobody can ever sneak up on you. And it's all wood. Like many places in old homes, we have lots of wasted space. But we do have lots of storage. So this area could be a nice little reading nook, a study place, or just a nice place for decorations. But what's also going to happen up here is part of where we're going to create the new bathroom. Because again, no place to go up here. So if you needed to go, you got to go downstairs. And doing so, it usually wakes you up completely, because in the middle of the night, we usually just kind of stagger to the bathroom, do our thing, and then stagger back to bed. We don't want to have to become focused to walk down the stairs to wake everybody up, because again, that's the downside of old homes. Squeaky and noisy, but potential. So from the hallway, from the stairs, we have one of the bedrooms. Very large, big closet. We love big closets. This room probably gets split in two to add to the size of the next bedroom. The other thing about this being so large is that we can steal some of the space for the upstairs bathroom, so that when you gotta go again, you don't have to go downstairs. So it's all a plus. For the second upstairs bedroom, a bedroom is defined by a room with a closet. So this little thing must be the closet. Can you imagine? Not so much. So when I talked about the other huge closet, this is where the wall is. So open this door, cut that one in half. Now you've got a reasonably sized closet for most people's things. We also have some really nice light coming in from outside. Another bonus, natural light. The strange thing about this house is this room. What is it? It's not really aligned to go out into the hallway, but with a little creativity, we can figure out something for it. Maybe an upstairs office. So this is the room adjacent to the other bedroom. If you stand up too tall in some areas, you're gonna bump your head. So come over here, put a desk to look out on the beautiful park that's right next door. Great place for the kids. It can be an arts and crafts room. It can also be a playroom just for the kids. So it's kind of a multi-purpose room based upon what a tenant would want to use it for. So overall, the interior of this home has many possibilities to upgrade to modern standard of living, to make it a wonderful place for tenants to want to live. And the one thing you want to do, always keep in mind, is what is the neighborhood? This is a historic district, and therefore we want to have it classy. You don't want to go over the top, spend too much, but when a potential tenant walks in, they want to go, wow, I want to live here. And the other thing about making things just a little bit nicer is that most of the time, the tenants will want to keep it nice because that's what they started with. But there's one other thing that took this house over the top for me in making my decision to purchase it and to make it part of this series. I'm going to show you in just a second. A scary basement! I remember when I was a kid, whenever we visited my grandparents, they lived in an old home in Oregon. They had a basement. It was cold and chilly. And we were always asked to go downstairs to get something. Oh no, there were ghosts down there. Today, it's a cash cow. So I'm very excited. So what does a scary basement mean to me today? More space, more tenants. For a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, nice kitchen, sized apartment. So now we not only will have rent from upstairs, we can have a whole new source of income downstairs, which is considered wasted space now. So that's very exciting for me and for a potential owner or for yourselves who are looking to maximize space. This is another way to bring in positive cash flow. Caveat, it's rather expensive to create a whole new living space. So budget right. And you can also just do the upstairs first, however you've planned to remodel the basement in the future. So you have all your plans ready for that. But you'll see the whole process. It's exciting. From the living room out onto a deck, the one thing about this home, it's a corner lot. That's a bonus. Children, always think of the children because most tenants have children. So a large backyard is definitely a bonus. But this one, again, has too much stuff. Trees, bushes, planters. Most of it has to go because the tenant will not take care of it. So we keep it simple. There's an old saying, KISS, keep it simple, you know the rest of it. Anyway, this is a good find, large lot, and therefore plenty of room for children to play. This is the garage that's existing. It's going away. I'll show you in a moment what it looks like from the other side. When we split it, the house, we're also going to build a 3-car garage. You don't have to do it immediately because there's costs involved. But my goal is to have a 2-car garage for the upstairs, 1-car garage for the downstairs. And to put a fence across from the garage to the house so that people downstairs have their own private area, their own sanctuary to enjoy. And that's what it's all about, making the tenants feel that this is theirs, their home, which we hope that they will stay for many years, again, providing us a positive cash flow. In addition to this home being on a corner lot, very spacious, it also has the other benefit of a 1.5-car garage. Well, in my opinion, it's more of a lean-to and will eventually disappear as the construction continues. Garages are expensive. So to begin with, you could put down a gravel pad or a carport. Either way, it's an addition for the cars to get off the street, safer for getting in and out. And because Washington State has lots of rain, yay, we can wash our cars whenever we want. A person can get in and out without getting wet. So again, this is value added to the property, and then the rent can be up just a little bit. So it's a bonus. When we were in the upstairs bedroom / office / craft room, that there was a park across the street. This is a wonderful addition for families who have children. So, place to play, place that is safe, and it enhances the value of the home. So again, rent can go up. Well, there you have it. The ins and the outs of the new project house. I always say a prayer before each purchase, asking God, is this going to be good for me? If it is, let me have it. If it's not going to be good for me, take it away. Only God knows the future, and all we can do is trust in Him. So I look forward to this home. I hope you'll follow along and see the progress, see the frustrations, see the excitement, and again, all the little details that it took to bring this house into a new life. You can take parts of it for your own little projects, or take a deep breath and dive into something larger. Either way, I hope you enjoy, and I look forward to sharing it with you. God bless.